What's going on, guys? So, back to it again. More Star Trek stuff from the EAGLEMOSS Starship Ships collection. I got some crud right here. It's annoying. It's been annoying me for 2 reviews. Anyways, mentioned it last time when we did the Enterprise C. We're going on with the Enterprise D. Now, this is like the special edition best of ships, or whatever they call it. The best collection. I forget exactly what it is, but I believe that this is the one that they decided to blow their Aztecing budget. I've had a couple different versions of the Enterprise D over the years, and I've never had one that looked this Aztec. It's a little excessive. I think, like, the design is a little overblown. Like, even on the original, I don't think it was this heavily done, or if it was, it wasn't that visible. That being said, still a cool ship. So let's look at the box first, because you know how we do. Box. You actually get a decent image of the thing there. You get all the Enterprises and other ships in the past. That might be the Enterprise B. It's kind of hard to tell. This one looks more green. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just the light. So it could be the Enterprise B. Could just be the Excelsior. Once again, I'm going to ask down below if you guys believe I should get the Excelsior in the XL version. So that'd be the XL Excelsior. Call it the Stanley Edition if you want. So I never really paid attention to the actual Federation logo there. That's pretty cool. Like that little dust, that's not included. That's mostly due to the SHOKY cave. And we see over here, we got Voyager. I still need to get me a Voyager. It has not been re-released as of recent. And Voyager is one of my favorite ships. I need to get a hold of that. I don't really think I need any of the Klingon ships, if I'm totally honest with you. Coming to the back, you got, technically the bottom, but back. That, by the way, this is super heavy, like really nice, like cardboard. Like you would make fake books out of this kind of stuff. And you got here, all the stuff there, Hero Collector, says good things. Over here, Hero Collector says good things, so to speak. Pop that open it up, and you get the stuff on the inside, which is the buy here now. You got the original Enterprise and Enterprise E. I have those, so cool. And guess which one's coming next? You get the very nice foam insert here, not the crappy styrofoam that comes out of different ones. This is like nice high density foam kind of stuff. You got the cutout there for the base. You got this area for the ship, and in normal times you would have the book sitting right there. So let's get the box out of the way. By the way, always got the nice magnetic seal. Really do appreciate that from some high-end collectibles, that they always give you a nice magnet seal box. And the other thing being, you get the little tiny magazine that is, you know, pocket sized if you got some cargo shorts. So Enterprise there, nice CG render, looks great. Even got the nacelles all lit up. Unfortunately, this one doesn't do that because, well, none of them do. But if you're buying like the really big EAGLEMOSS version that will light up and do all those other things, and you're building it panel by panel, hey, go for it. I'm not doing that. I'm working on an Ecto 1 that's going to take years. So, special issue, which I believe that's the one that looks like this. Could be wrong. You got Galaxy class. Yeah, we know that. 641 meters. See, I said this one was bigger than Enterprise C. Turns out it's almost by... Actually, it's over 100 meters. It's 121 meters longer. That's a lot, in case you're wondering. In case you're ever really wondering the scale of these ships, I mean, 300 meters is roughly 900 some odd feet. Close to it. That's huge. So you got launch 2263. Let's see, when was that one? Wait. That doesn't make sense. How could Enterprise C be launched after this? That's got to be a typo. That's got to be 2363. Yeah, that's a typo. That's funny. Crew of over 1,000, and apparently could handle up to like 15,000 people in an evacuation premises. Apparently the Galaxy class is one of the largest and emptiest ships ever. By all means, go watch things on either Trek Yards or there's a bunch of different Star Trek channels that have talked about the ridiculous amount of empty space in a Galaxy class ship. It's kind of insane. Here's how you put it on the stand, and it is one of the ones that will grip it around the engineering hull and at the saucer section, so just be careful when you're applying it and don't scrape your thing up. There's where you can buy stuff online if you don't want to get it at BBTS, like I did buy directly from EAGLEMOSS. They have a lot of different sales. Be pretty cool if they wanted to send me some stuff to look at. I'd be fine with that. So, first time we see it, Encounter at Farpoint, revised. The Defector. Not exactly sure what that means, but hey, it is what it is. Last seen Star Trek Generations. That's entirely true. Design was by Andrew Probert. And the captains are Picard, Riker, and Jellicoe. Jellicoe. Not so sure. Okay, so we got back on board. So we're going to talk mostly about how TNG came about. That's fine. You know, got all the crew behind the thingy. Nice design issue right there. Really nice and swoopy. And this being my first Enterprise, technically speaking, this is a big deal for me. And I believe that's a holodeck design. Yep, so you got the holodeck arch. You can go in and do all the cool stuff. Actually, really always dug that. Because you could summon the arch as if by magic. They played with a lot of stuff in this. Especially holodeck. Especially with Reg when he got obsessed with the holodeck and stuff like that. And then you even had like the sentient Moriarty program that came to life and started making hell for the crew. Stuff like that. You know, TNG ran for a long time and did all kinds of crazy shit. If you haven't seen it, start now. And unfortunately, you have to start when it looks like that. It looks better over time. I like the nice bridge design there. That's pretty cool. How they're playing around with it. And then you got the nice big swoopy stuff. And apparently, it was meant to have a modular and removable bridge design, so it could be updated, you know, as it went. That's pretty cool. And apparently there was one version of the design that actually had like lounges off to the side, sort of, instead of separate rooms for crew to have meetings and stuff, just flat out on the bridge. Seriously, go find those Star Trek channels that cover a lot of this stuff. Hey, look, phasers, phaser pistol, the new tricorder, which I used to have one of those. I think I threw it away because the battery kind of ate away at it. It was an original one. I think that's technically a medical one because it's got the extra dually there. That's pretty cool. They do have, like, there's a newer one that came out a few years ago that had, like, a lot of lights and sounds and screen and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Oh, that's a new comm badge. That's actually pretty cool. That's not how it ended up looking, but that's the thing. And yes, by the way, they do have Bluetooth comm badges. For those who might be interested in such things. Okay. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know that. If DeForest Kelley come in. That's pretty cool. He made a cameo in the pilot. I don't know if he's actually Bones or not, but that'd be cool if he was. That's supposed to be 10 forward if I had to guess. No, actually, no. I take that back. That's the thing there, observation lounge. That technically I think turned into the war room or the ready room. What was the room? There was the one right off the bridge where he and the main staff did. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it got rid of the dress for the skin-tight bodysuit instead. And of course, Q was part of the original episode and was always there to make Picard's life a living hell. You got there. Enterprise built by ILM. Yep. That's pretty cool. What is this? The study model for the bridge in front of the real thing is under construction. Oh, okay, so here's the bridge being built, including the view screen area that we would see through. Then here's the study model. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. Early publicity photograph shows Roddenberry and his new crew. Yeah, because he died, I think, a little bit into TNG, didn't he? If I remember correctly. Yep, and there's Captain Picard, Riker. That's pretty cool. Data. Tasha Yar, Macha Hernandez. Who is Macha Hernandez? I have no idea. Geordi LaForge. Dr. Crusher, Wesley Crusher, and Worf. First Klingon in Starfleet. Nice. You know what I wanted to see? If there was anything in there about when it... I'm going to have to double check that... I'm fairly certain that's supposed to be 2363, not 2263. Something just fell in the other room. I'll be right back. And of course, amongst everything, I got a phone call. But anyway, as I was talking about it, crazy Aztecing. Don't think it looked like that realistically. You do get the big old single phaser array, which is crazy, but it can shoot from multiple spots in it and gets right there. That's cool. And you got escape pods kind of all over. Big old double outline Enterprise D there. Maybe I could tilt this light down a little bit more. Maybe that's too much. That's too much light. But this is definitely a ship that I am incredibly aware of. Like, though this is something I never knew, that it had the 1701D right there before the main massive shuttle bay. Apparently it's something we never really got to see, like, in its size. But apparently that shuttle bay was ridiculously large. And then I think within the series, we never even saw shuttle bay 2 and 3, like, internally. We get the nicely painted red nacelles. So it almost have a metallic red paint, which is interesting to say themselves. And I say nacelles, impulse engines. And then you get the other impulse engine down here for the secondary hull. Just pretty cool. The red line goes all the way down the spine. You get the gold bars there. More phaser banks. You get the nice little nacelles that are totally camouflaged. Blue plastic, should have been painted. I mean, if you're going to paint this, just paint this. It's just kind of pointless. Clear, pinkish, red nacelles there. The Bussard collectors, as they were known. You get the exclamation points. Not entirely certain there. You got more phaser arrays down here. Though what's funny is these are gray. These are black. Don't know what happened there. It's like I ran out of the gray, so I just painted them black. Not entirely certain. And once again, you get the cool swoopy design. Once again, always just, just kind of. And actually, they did not really make this part stand out, where the photon torpedoes tend to come from, right up there. It's supposed to be a little darker gray and kind of be filled in. They don't even highlight it there. In fact, the Aztecing is off there, but that's in a spot I really don't care about. So it is what it is. Come to the bottom of the saucer section. Thing there. Lots of escape pods. Pretty sure is what those are. Never makes sense that you would have all your escape pods up there. Except if not everybody's in the saucer section, not going to do you good. But most of the living quarters and all the other things, including where the dolphins are. Yeah, there's dolphins. And actually, yeah, here you can see the windows are not in the right spot. Those should be there. And there, and there, and there. They got that off pretty badly, if I'm honest. But it's the underside. You do get the red and green light there. That's actually pretty cool. No need for that, but it's there. Same thing back here. It does not separate, because if it did, that would be frightening. But it would have been interesting if they gave us a version that could separate. So you have the engineering hull, and then you have the saucer section separately, and then you get 2 separate display stands. That would actually be pretty cool, in my opinion. But, I'm just a humble reviewer. And also, they kind of make these a little more blue. They should just be gray. Just kind of then go away. The stand is a little different because it's so offset. But I guess just due to the design, I guess it sort of makes sense. Hold on, you gotta get it in the right spot. Hold on. You gotta come back far enough. There you go. And then set it right up in there. Kind of right on top of those little red and green lights that I was talking about. But yeah, weird offset design there for that. And then kind of at a interesting plane. Now, as I was talking about the size, you'll see exactly what I mean, because the ship we looked at last time, which is 120-ish meters shorter, is bigger. This is why I say the one thing that sucks about EAGLEMOSS is they don't scale things. They give you a size. But what I don't understand is why they didn't make that big. Like, even within the box. Hold on, let me look at the box just real quick. For the hole that it would fit in, they could have made it almost 3/4 of an inch wider at the saucer section, which would have given it just a little bit more, oomph. But considering that is a significantly larger ship, it's crazy that they made this one bigger. Like, I think that they got these two backwards in their size, so to speak. And once again, we'll go back. I'm only going to bring out the TOS Enterprise, because there's no point in bringing out the Disco one at this point. So you can see these all together in their final form. I know, that's not really what's going on here, but that's not how I'm going to put it. I need to scooch this that way a little bit. There we go. And we'll come up so you can see the ships. And it is like the lowest one. This is going to be like hard to see into there. But you know, size-wise, it's closer to that, even though that should be a smaller ship. Actually, give me a second. Yeah, so look at it this way. This is how insane this is. That one is 289 meters long. The longest one that's here. That one's 100 meters shorter. These are both, significantly longer ships by 300 or 400 meters, which is insane. So that is supposed to be a tiny ship. That's supposed to be a smaller ship. The biggest ship out of the three is the smallest one that's here. That is hilarious. But just depending on how you want to display it, it would make sense. So, like, if I bought the XL Romulan Warbird, that's going to be way out of scale because Romulan Warbird is significantly, like, way, 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 way bigger than even the Galaxy class. Same thing for, like, the Borg Cube. Borg Cube is, like, 3 kilometers cubed or something like that, if I remember correctly. Massive, massive, massive ship, even compared to the Galaxy cruise liner, as it were, because that's pretty much what they did. The Galaxy class was made for peacetime, not wartime, even though it was armed to the teeth, and it was made for exploration and basically having families on board, and including schools, including all the other things. And it was basically like a proper cruise liner, but made to be like the backbone of the fleet in this modern era. They had hundreds of them, so it makes sense. Kind of crazy, very similar ships, of course, based off the design, things like that. And for what I would consider my Enterprise, it's kind of crazy, that they made it this small. Now, this is the Enterprise I grew up with. It's the most iconic thing. It's the thing I think of when I hear the term Enterprise. And when I think of 1701, that's what I think of. So, now, of course, next time we still have the final Enterprise in the collection to look at. And it should technically be, I forget if it's the longest or the B is the longest. I think the B might have it, but I'm not sure. But we will look at that. But it's also one of the strangest ones in Deco. And we'll check it out. Because it's one of those ones where it's like, did it look like this? Or did it technically look like this? So until then, guys, remember as always, to keep on nerding. For no nerd has gone before.